Hello, good morning on this lovely sunny day. Do you ever get a situation where you're at a misunderstanding with somebody? You think they said something and they think they said something else, and the situation's got out of hand and you're not speaking to them, and it can be awkward and difficult, can't it? It happens between individuals, it can happen between countries, between organisations, and not surprisingly, we find it happening in the Word of God. St. Paul and others travelled around telling people about Jesus and introducing them to him and to what he said and did and does. But they sometimes got things wrong. Their mistakes occurred in the life of those early churches. And so Paul would write back to them. He'd write letters to them. And the letters that he wrote and that others wrote appear in the New Testament. He wrote back to the church in Thessalonica, in modern-day Greece. He wrote 2 letters to them, and in his second letter, he had to correct the misunderstanding they had that Jesus was going to return very soon and they needn't bother doing anything. He said, no, that's not right. You have to still keep living your life. And they also got the idea that it didn't matter what they said or did to anybody. No, he's saying to them, you've got to live in the correct way. Look, if other people treat you badly, he was saying to them, don't worry about it because God will look after you. That's what he's aiming to do. That's why he sent Jesus, to tell you that things will be okay. And he writes to them, and he says something in his writings like this. This is in 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6. God is just. He will pay back trouble to those who trouble you and give relief to you who are troubled, and to us as well. That's just a short verse in the middle of a letter all about these different problems they face. But there's a phrase there which is really important. God is just. It's an idea of justice or correctness or righteousness, being right about something. God doesn't live or want us to live in a world of chaos. He wants there to be an order and a correct way of living, a just way. And God is just. So he won't see his people, his followers, downtrodden and beaten forever. There will be times of persecution, yes, but he will also come to our aid and pay back trouble to those who trouble us. He's kind of way of saying, God's on your side. You can leave things at his door and he'll look after them. You haven't got to carry the burden of all this living, this life, all on your own. You can turn to him and cast your problems upon him, and he will help you with them. That should be encouraging to them, and it should be encouraging to us too, that we can take what problems we have to his door and say, Lord, I don't know what's going on with this or how to put this right. Please help me with it, and leave it with him. And somehow, miraculously, these things tend to work out in the length of the fullness of time. Somehow, God acts in our lives and things get put right. It doesn't mean to say we don't have to do any work ourselves. He might be coming back to us and saying, look, you've got to pick up the phone and go and talk to that person. You've got to make the first effort. You've got to be the bigger person. You have got to be the one who puts something right, which means we've got to roll our sleeves up and get on with it. But he won't leave the situation completely untouched. He will care for us and he will look after us. That should be very comforting to us. It means we can live our lives in the knowledge that we are not alone, that God, our Father in heaven, is with us, and he's with us because Jesus came to live amongst us and show us who God is. A lot of theology in that one. That'll keep you going for the rest of the day, I'm sure. It's a lovely sunny day. Enjoy it as best you can. See you soon.